Heather might have had a reason to be paranoid about not being invited on the trip because I didn't even realize she wasn't in this last episode until someone commented on something on Instagram and they were like, Heather wasn't even in the episode and I didn't even miss her. And I was like, oh my God, you're right. Oops. So, Heather, you might have had a little bit of a reason to be a little paranoid. The show did go on without you. But I don't want her fired. I'm not saying I want Heather fired. I think she brings a necessary Karen energy to the show or something, you know? Something. I think the whole cast should come back. Bronwyn especially. Not especially, but and Bronwyn. I wonder if Todd will let her, because I do not think Todd was warned about what these shows were. I don't think he's watched 1 hour of reality television prior to this, because in the preview for next week, too, he straight up tells Bronwyn that he is basically, I'm disappointed in you, disappointed in how you acted. And you're like, and all of the fans are going, she wasn't that bad. Like, she was pretty tame, actually. That wasn't like Lisa. Those husbands could be upset, but Bronwyn was fine. But I think it's a cool thing that Bronwyn has an interesting dynamic with Todd. I think it makes her more interesting. Not like she wasn't already interesting, but I think that it just adds to it. If it was just some perfect cookie cutter thing, it's like, oh, okay, there is something here. All right, cool. I love it. But all right, let's get into all of it. But if you are new here, hello, I'm Emily. This is She's Speaking with Emily Hanks, and I recap your favorite reality TV shows, and I wrap up the week's entertainment news live on YouTube every Sunday at 10 a.m. PT, usually with a very good friend of mine named Kendrick, who's awesome. So if you're not already following the show, follow the show, subscribe. If you're on YouTube, like and comment, say hi. Now, let's get into it. Lisa is convinced that Whitney is the reason there's issues with Bronwyn and issues with Angie. Now, while I do completely understand why she would say that, because Whitney is loving that Bronwyn and Lisa are in a feud. It is really working out for her. She's leaning all the way in. Whitney and Bronwyn are doing their after show together. Like, they're in. And Whitney's like, fuck yes. But Lisa has a part in this where this is where Lisa always kind of it's like she emotionally falls short. Now, I don't know if that's because she just doesn't understand how to get deeper with seeing where someone else is coming from. She's extremely defensive and doesn't like to really take accountability or ownership of what she does. But honestly, that's a lot. That's pretty much everyone on reality television. A lot of people don't like to take ownership. That's a common trait. But like saying that the issue with Bronwyn is to do with Whitney is like, well, not necessarily. It really comes down to Lisa. I don't think you're being honest with yourself, maybe even, but definitely not with Bronwyn. I don't think Lisa likes what she's seeing with Bronwyn, and she's not saying that. So Bronwyn's like, if you're my friend, why are you only supporting Heather? And if you watch the preview for next week, Lisa goes and sees Heather and is like, oh my God, Bronwyn was just like being so weird about it. Like, and she just very much doesn't like Bronwyn and likes Heather more. And Bronwyn is seemingly getting that and seeing that, even though Lisa's saying with her words, I like you, like, no, like we're friends, like whatever. Bronwyn's like, but are we? And I think that's where I'm at too. I'm like, but this is such a strange, like she's saying things like, I love Bronwyn. But I guess I gotta remind myself of something. I don't know if this works here and this as like an excuse or a reason, but we see everything with like a camera is just on a scene. How many times in real life does something happen, and then we get told a version of it that's totally inaccurate, but no one is like watching camera footage of the conversation because we're not on reality. But we see, as the audience of reality TV, we saw the whole conversation with Bronwyn and Heather. And so we're like, I'm going to speak for myself. I'm like, Lisa, what are you doing? Heather is so wrong. But Lisa's got her perspective because she's only, I guess, heard it from Heather. And after last season with the Monica and whatever, their alliance is so strong that that Lisa is so quick to believe that Bronwyn invited Heather over to not invite her on a trip and to not make up. It's why didn't Lisa have the instinct to call Bronwyn at least and be like, hey, so I heard from Heather. Obviously, it didn't go well. Like, how are you doing? Because by not doing that, it makes it seem like she's just taking Heather's side and doesn't give a shit about Bronwyn's feelings. But then for Lisa to be like, I came on this trip because I wanted to be here with you or whatever, but I'm also Heather's friend. It's like, okay, but yeah, I guess, yes, you came on the trip, and I guess that's why Bronwyn is feeling sort of used, I guess, because you can't call me before the trip to check in with me to see how it went with Heather. You're going to just make your assumptions, and then you're going to show up on the trip after kind of ghosting me for a few days and be like, well, Heather's a good friend, like once you become friends with her. And so Bronwyn's like, okay, so you're just taking advantage of this house and the trip and whatever? There's so many layers to this. It's very hard for me to get down all the way to where I land on it. I don't think I can land on either side. Like they're totally wrong. They're totally wrong. They're totally right or what. It's a layered little dynamic here because for Bronwyn, this is her first time on reality television too. She doesn't know how this works. And you know who doesn't know how this works is Todd. Todd does not know how this works. So it's a very overwhelming thing, and it would have been cool if Bronwyn and Lisa could have felt like a team. But when that fight with Heather happened, where Heather's like, "You need to get your words right because you said this to this person and this to this person," Bronwyn didn't really hear Lisa go, I think there's just like different ways of communicating. Like that's how Bronwyn communicates. Like she's not like it wasn't being mean. I don't think Bronwyn heard that, and I think she wanted her to or Bronwyn wanted Lisa to really step in and say like, Heather, stop. But because Lisa is really aligned with Heather, and then it was the fight with Heather and Bronwyn, Lisa was like, I don't want to jump in too much. All right. Anyway, we're going to keep going. They go to they sit down for this little lunchy thing. And in front of everybody, Lisa's like, hey, like, I wanted to talk to you. We didn't get to finish our conversation. And I couldn't tell. I think other people were having other conversations, but it was like a little weird to do it the way she was doing it at the table like that. And also then this is what I was saying. It's like she falls emotionally short because this is what Lisa says. I think like with Heather, I don't think there was anything to defend because she was expressing her feelings. And I think when it comes to feelings, like it's hard because she's expressing her feelings where if someone's lying about me, boom, Whitney joins in. But before we get to the Whitney joining in, being like, I'm not lying about you, Lisa. What are you saying, Lisa? What is this all about? When someone is talking about their feelings, like you can't, it's like hard. No, you didn't ask Bronwyn about her feelings. How are you missing this? You didn't ask Bronwyn, how are you feeling about the conversation that you had with Heather? That's it. That's it. So you can say, you're so close, yet so far. But we're going to put a pin in that because we're going to get back to that later. Lisa, I am not lying about you, Lisa. I am telling you the information that I was told. Lisa's like, well, okay. Again, Lisa's like, you didn't ask me. You accused me of it. And you said you have proof. Bring the fucking proof. I agree, Whitney. What is your fucking proof of this? This is like a huge thing to allege with nothing in your hands. Like, here, look, here's proof. even let's live in the world of Adam did say on the phone, it's Lisa Barlow. Let's live in that world. And we know at least this much about that conversation. It didn't happen when they showed it in the show. It happened later. So let's say Adam sent her a text message, Whitney a text that said, it's definitely Lisa. Let's go with that. Okay, let's just go with that reality. That is not enough proof. Adam saying, yes, it's Lisa with no receipt attached doesn't mean shit. Doesn't mean shit. Whitney, you wanted it to be Lisa, but it's like, but now that Up and Adam and Dana Wilkie, they're all like, we told you it wasn't Lisa. And Whitney is still going, I do believe that it was Lisa. I do. I believe it was Lisa. Girl, how? What the fuck? You're being told by your sources that it wasn't Lisa. But she has to commit to it because she filmed all these scenes and whatever. But Whitney loves to keep using this one. I sat down calmly and you started crying and yelling and running around because she loves to be like, and that is to me proof that like you're guilty when really it's just like you're doing this shit on camera. Yes, it's annoying, but here we go again. We're on camera. You're going to capture this on camera. It's going to go everywhere. Yeah, that. She freaked out. But then she goes, you charged out at my husband. And Lisa, I think your husband's capable of taking care of himself. And as a matter of fact, my husband would never talk to him in the way your husband talked to me. I'm like, here we go. Here we go. But Lisa tries to like have a moment with it, but she stutters on the line. The line is, there's more proof in my tequila than what comes out of your mouth or comes out of you. But she like stumbled on it. She's like, there's more proof in my tequila than that comes out of you. Dang it. So close. So close. You almost had it. And then John steps in. And John, what did he accomplish? Nothing. Honestly, nothing. He goes, ask Lisa, ? Did you do this? ? Did you do it? No. Okay, Whitney, have you ever lied about Lisa? No. Okay, done. Like, that didn't do anything. But I didn't appreciate Bronwyn's confessional being real condescending, like, oh, thanks, John. We really needed the men to come in and help solve our problems. When I'm like, girl, you let Todd go tell John that they had to leave. And you seem to let Todd deal with stuff. So that's a little hypocritical. Like, John can step in. You even say yourself in the after show that you kind of wish that Todd stood up for you a little bit more, even when you were wrong. She says it verbatim in the after show. And so to be like, okay, John, thanks a lot. Wow, the men need to step in. I'm like, you're not Miss Feminism over here getting your husband involved, okay? So I don't want to hear that. Sorry. I don't need to be that upset. I'm not that mad about it. But I'm just saying, like, that was a little hypocritical. Then John says, Lisa's never lied about anybody at this table. And that's going to have an impact. Everyone's going to be like, okay, really, really, really. In the after show, though, I actually think it's a little unfair that Mary uses the example of Lisa's hot mic moment as her lying. Because Lisa has never said that what she said was factually correct. Lying is a different thing. What Whitney's doing is lying. That's a lie. Like a made up everything. That's what that is. But a rant like that's Lisa said herself that wasn't, she doesn't believe those things and she was just mad. So that's not a lie, but I guess if you want to say it's a lie, but then also Angie is like, Lisa lies about me. She says I'm a liar. I'm like, but I don't know if you can call someone calling you a liar a liar. She lies because she calls me a liar. Like that, I don't know if that is the right term to use. And like I said, I like Angie, but I feel like she's a little messier than she's trying to act now. I don't think she likes having any smoke coming her way, but she likes to get a little bit messy. But yeah, like I was like, yeah, so that's not, I don't know if Lisa's calling you a liar is her lying, if that's how she feels about it. But also, what has Angie lied about? Maybe it'll come up. I don't know. But what has Angie lied about? But what has Lisa lied about? Honestly, though, I was trying to rack my brain and think about, I'm like, what has Lisa lied about? And I can't think of anything. I go back to, I just think Lisa's a little too like self-centered to be making up lies about people. Meredith says in the after show that she's never seen Lisa like sit down and try to come up with like dirt on someone or come up with a lie or be that manipulative. And I'm like, but you have, girl. You have found some. She has had. Meredith is not innocent in this, and we'll get to that. We'll get to that. We'll move on for now. Sean steps in. Sean steps in when John says Lisa's never lied about anybody at the table, and he goes, "But didn't she tell somebody that you're a fucking bitch to Angie?" And Angie goes, "Yeah, that was to me." But that's also not a lie. Like, that's not good. That's name calling, but that's not a lie. But then he goes to a place that's a little extreme. He goes, it's borderline abusive. And I've been privy to conversations between the two of you and really taken aback at some of the abuse that my wife has taken on the other end of that phone call. Lisa actually handles this pretty well. I got to say, I mean, having someone on camera say you're abusive is usually going to get someone's feathers really riled up. Like, excuse you? Don't you fucking say that. And I think, again, Angie is like kind of acting like, yeah, just nothing. Like, I didn't say anything. I didn't do anything that would have made Lisa upset. I feel like Lisa was upset about something and then was mad at Angie. And like this, I like Angie. Please don't get all upset about me saying things about Angie. I'm just saying, like, that was a little ridiculous of Sean. And I think Sean is maybe in a more of a hyper-protective mode because of what happened last season. So maybe he's just feeling like he wants to come in and help Angie out a little bit. But I thought this was a little odd. It was like, this is their friendship and a borderline abusive. Or, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe when Lisa is mad, she takes it too far. Maybe she does take it too far. I could see that. I could see her taking it too far. But I think it was weird. I guess it was just an odd thing to have Sean step in with. Because like, but Lisa actually goes, I have a different way of speaking, which is what she always says about herself. And you guys like clearly don't understand me. But if I've hurt you, I am sorry. And I was like, oh, I didn't expect her to do that. And then that was it. They just like moved on. And then Seth changed the subject. And I was like, okay, interesting. We get a pop in with Mary at home with Robert Jr. Now this scene, so Mary is what she thinks she's walking into. She knows that the cameras are already in Robert Jr.'s room. So when she opens that door and sees the state of the room, it's not just like, I want you to pick up your room because, you're an adult and I want a clean house. It's like, you're letting them film this? Like, and then when they're eating, she goes, you guys know I'm coming in. You're just going to eat? Meaning like, you knew we were coming to film a scene. You knew it. You're probably mic'd up for all I know. So what are we talking about here? So it was a lot. And it's sad, but it's going to be such an amazing journey to watch Mary like talk to him, because in the trailer you see more of that scene where he breaks down, and I think that's like the scene, the moment where he decides to go get help and accept help, I think. But we're going to really see the journey. I mean, it is this wife of his is just creepy. This weird girl just like in the bed. They're both just like in the bed. Like, oh, it's hard to look at. It's hard because you just know that it's drug related. And I'm happy we're going to talk about it openly because it would have been real uncomfortable if we couldn't, right? Like having to be like, no, nothing's wrong. Like, no, something's wrong. But we're going to get more of that. But that whole scene was just rough. This episode is brought to you by Manscaped. Shaving and men's grooming has come very far. So, ladies, if you're looking for the perfect gift for the man in your life, or to my men's who listen to this podcast, Manscaped has released the Chairman Pro package. Doesn't that sound cool? First up in this amazing package is the Chairman Pro Electric Foil Shaver, which comes with 2 interchangeable skin-safe blade heads. You got the skin-safe 4-blade foil for that ultra-close smooth shave. And if he wants to keep that rugged look, he can go with the skin-safe stubble trimmer. Both heads are designed to help reduce razor burn and irritation so his skin stays smooth and comfortable. A standout feature that really differentiates the Chairman Pro from the rest is the Flex Adjust technology. This innovative technology allows the blades and pivoting head to seamlessly adapt to the unique contours of his face, and it's really gentle on the neck area, making sure he gets a close, comfortable shave each time. No more missed spots. And here's something that's going to make his grooming even easier. The Chairman Pro is waterproof, which means he can use it in the shower. That's a major game changer. There's more, though. If your guy likes a wet shave, the package also includes the Power Shave Gel, which is a non-irritating, lubricating formula that's perfect for sensitive skin. It has skin-soothing ingredients. It is dye-free, cruelty-free, vegan, alcohol-free, paraben-free, and phthalate-free. And to top it all off, there's the Face Shave Smoother. This is an aftershave serum, which is really good for hydrating his skin and soothing any post-shave irritation. It helps defend against ingrown hairs and razor bumps. So if you want to give him a gift that he'll love and use every day, the Chairman Pro package from Manscaped is the perfect choice. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code SheSpeaks at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code SheSpeaks at manscaped.com. The number one beauty skin tip, hydration. And Oak Essentials Dew Body Oil is a treat. Oak Essentials was founded in 2021 by Jenny Kane. The Dew Body Oil has this great blend of skin-soothing oils. So it's fast-absorbing, but it's really intense moisture. I use that all along my décolletage, which everybody needs to be hyper-moisturizing. Not just your neck, your chest. And if you're stuck on holiday gifting, you cannot go wrong with the body routine. It's Oak Essentials Complete Everything Shower Kit, including Awaken Body Wash, Perfecting Body Scrub, Dew Body Oil, Luminous Body Lotion, and Moisture-Rich Body Balm. Who wouldn't love that? This holiday season, treat yourself and your loved ones to spa-quality skincare essentials that deliver a moisture-rich glow. My followers will get 15% off their first order when you use code SheSpeaks15 at checkout. That's 15% off your first order at OAKESSENTIALS.com. Promo code SheSpeaks15. Get your best radiant skin this season with Oak Essentials. Okay, they do beach volleyball back at the thing when they do a whole thing with the beach volleyball and whatever. And then they get ready for the anniversary party. And Todd puts the $4 million necklace on Bronwyn. Was that what he paid? $4 million? Was that? It said $4 million. I looked 4 times. I was like, yep, $4 million. Is that just... That was her gift? It's hers forever? It's incredible. Unbelievable. But Bronwyn tries to have a cute little moment with him, oh, have fun tonight or whatever. And he looks like he doesn't even want her to touch him. Now, maybe this is cameras. Cameras are there and it's possible Todd is I had no idea that this was what was going to be filming this little program. And he's not about it. Okay, they sit down for dinner. Before that, though, Lisa, who knows it's still not great with Bronwyn, was like, oh my God, I love your necklace. Oh my God, and all whatever. And Bronwyn's I guess maybe Lisa's not meant to be a deep friend. Maybe it's just meant to be a surface friend. I could see that. I could see Lisa just not really being that emotionally not available, but like intuitive or mature. I don't know. I don't think Lisa is ever coming from a bad place. I don't get that from Lisa. I don't get, or maybe I do. I don't know. We're going to keep going. We're going to at the dinner. I don't know. I think maybe Angie says something about the necklace, like, oh, Todd's got another 10 years out of you. And Bronwyn goes, that's the thing. I'm willing to do almost anything. But the bad thing for Todd is I'm actually not really willing to do anything. It's not like I offered him a lifetime prescription to BJ's. And it gets a little uncomfortable because people are like, oh, you're telling us that. But it's like kind of like the elephant in the room. It's kind of like everyone going, okay, so you don't have sex because he's so much older than you. And Todd is not like a young, however old he is. How old is he? He's not like a young, spry guy or anything. He very much looks 75 to me with the beard and like the grumpiness of it all. But I think, I can't remember, someone might have said, I think maybe Whitney goes, one does go a long way. And then Bronwyn says, lucky for me, Todd travels a lot. Meaning like you don't have to fuck him a lot because he's not there. It's a little awkward. It's a little weird. But then Bronwyn also feels uncomfortable because it's an anniversary party and she does want to say, like, she's like, okay, I don't want to bore everyone with all the reasons I love Todd. Or actually, I guess I wouldn't take too long, because it's only 2, ha 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 kind of thing. And then when Todd pulls out his black card, Bronwyn's like mortified. Like, don't pull out your black card and say, that's why I'm with you. And he's like, there you go. There's whatever number 1. I'm like, aha, I'm getting this dynamic is interesting. This dynamic is very interesting. Curious to get more. We're going to get more. We see more in the mid-season trailer. We see more in the mid-season. I'm very excited about it. So I really want to dig my faux psychology degree into this relationship a little bit, but I'm not ready yet. I don't have enough evidence yet to like make a call. For now, it's just like uncomfortable to watch. Like, ooh, that's a little awkward. What's this about? But then they play the newlywed game, and that's cute. It's fun. But then after the newlywed game, Whitney asks Lisa if she still wants an apology from Justin. And actually, Justin ends up, this was exactly what Justin, no notes. He realized, he saw a little moment in Lisa. He goes, I think he knew that if he took ownership for his part, she would take a little ownership too. He saw the window. Because that is how you have to sometimes not manipulate people, but if you really do want a resolution and that other person won't give it to you, you sometimes do. If you can catch it right, you can say, it's on me. Like, I shouldn't have done that. And I'm sorry, because you know that that's all they needed from you to then lower their wall, if you will. So they end up making up. Whitney was like shocked by that. Whitney's like, what? She was not happy about that because that's not working with the narrative, which is Lisa's the worst. We were innocent. But when Lisa does say, and I'm sorry too, I shouldn't have put you in that position, Whitney's like, thank you for apologizing. And I agree, fine. She should have apologized. Lisa 100% should have apologized. So we're done. We can be done with that. But fucking Whitney has a confessional where she goes, I know Lisa will never take credit or ownership for the Alibaba thing, but at least she apologized to my husband, and I can put a bow on that for now. Girl, apologize. They're not putting a bow on anything. But okay, sure. And she's not involved in the Alibaba thing. Girl, you got to let it go. You kind of are thinking that Lisa's obsessed with you, but she's kind of not, honestly. It's a little bit like self-centered of Whitney to think that like Lisa's out there doing all this shit for her. Whitney's the one doing it. Whitney's the one reaching out to Dana Wilkie. I did get the Dana Wilkie receipts that she had behind her Patreon wall. I had them leaked to me, and I did go over them with my Patreon. And I feel kind of guilty for doing that, but like, anyway, I'm done. I'm not gonna promote it. I feel bad because I shouldn't have done that. If Dana wants it behind a paywall, then she wants it behind a paywall for a reason. But I figured if it was already my Patreon subscribers, it wouldn't be so bad. But in the receipts, Whitney has a conversation with Dana Wilkie, and it shows Dana Wilkie saying, "Yeah, it's not Lisa. It's not," and it's a Finsta. Dana got the Alibaba thing from a Finsta account that she's assuming or concluded is Heather. But she says it's very clear, not Lisa. So interesting. Then we get into the Meredith Sean thing. She brings up, that's very nice, because Lisa and Justin apologize. She's like, that's very nice. Sean, I actually wasn't very happy. She brings up the podcast. Now, I listened to the podcast, and the podcaster, it's Behind the Velvet Rope. The podcaster, David Yontef, he presents the question. So Meredith is posting a lot with like her son and how she does all this work with GLAAD. And she said that because of all of this, it would prove that she would never out someone. Do you think that that's just her way of, kind of fixing what she did with what she did with you? And Sean agrees and says, yes, she's leveraging her son to look good because it didn't land the way she wanted it to. Now, was it great of Sean to bring up Brooks? No, but here's the issue. It starts with Whitney. Whitney had Angie convinced that Meredith was out there saying that Sean was having sex with men secretly. But I think what actually happened when Meredith did her famous rumors and nastiness moment, I really think she was in a full blackout and does not remember saying that. But because she's so embarrassed by the fact that we know she drinks too much and maybe pops some pills, maybe allegedly, but she would be too embarrassed the next day when someone was like, okay, what do you know about Angie's husband? What? And then they'd be like, well, you said that you had something on Angie's husband. Do not go there. Do not go there. Or I could see her just being so stubborn and wanting to never admit that she was drunk and said something she didn't even mean or remember, that she would then carry that whole thing through it. But then continue to say, I know things about Sean, but I don't think she knew anything about Sean. I think truly she was in a blackout. However, then Meredith says something to the effect of, I know things about Sean, to Whitney when they're at the airport leaving that trip. Was that also Palm Springs? It was, right? And Whitney then, and I'm going to say Meredith is known to like say shit behind the scenes and then hide her hands when it comes to the show. We've seen it. When Meredith was feuding with Lisa, they filmed that scene, Meredith and Whitney filmed that scene where Meredith had clearly already talked about some of the shit about Lisa behind her back, but when cameras were up, she wouldn't say fully what it was. She wanted Whitney to say more. Like, you can see Meredith doing this stuff. So Whitney, in her like hyper weird detective whatever way, was like ready to take down Meredith and expose Meredith for this. So then last season, when Monica sits down with Meredith at, I think it's Lisa's event, right? And it's like, are you going to talk to Ange? And Meredith goes, about what? And Monica's face is like, I don't know. And Meredith doesn't take the bait. Meredith's like, she can do whatever she wants. She's welcome to do whatever she wants. And Monica's like, all right. Well, Whitney wanted Meredith to take the bait. And when she didn't take the bait, Whitney pulls Monica over off to the side to be like, so apparently Meredith is spreading rumors about Ange. Apparently, what's going on? And she plays dumb, like she'd never heard it. when Whitney forces Monica to say it, when Monica says the rumor is that Sean is having sex with men, Whitney then does that weird no, that weird thing that she does. So either she really didn't know what Monica was saying and was having just a weird reaction, or this was all staged and she already knew this. But I'm wondering if truly, like, what Monica came up with was Monica really saying what Meredith was saying or what the streets were saying? Because I don't picture Meredith actually saying that Sean is gay. I don't, or could she? You know, Meredith can go pretty low, but she's really good at hiding her hand. Regardless, Whitney has now made Monica bring it up on camera. Then she tells Angie on camera. Well, technically, she has Monica tell Angie on camera. And she's positioned herself as the one who's protecting Angie and her family, when she's the one who got them to say it on camera, when at that point, Meredith hadn't said it on camera. So technically, it wasn't a thing. Maybe she said it in the airport. And Monica was like, you literally told me that he had sex with men. Maybe that's possible. But let's go with Meredith never actually knew of a real rumor. She just threatened, which isn't great either. But she definitely didn't say, let's go with that. She definitely didn't say that Sean sleeps with men. So then when Sean, right? I'm sorry, there's so many names to keep track of. When Sean goes on that podcast, he's coming from a place of Meredith did say all this shit about me and come for my family and blah, blah, blah. So he thinks he's answering in a very kind of practical way. Because I remember thinking that about Meredith, thinking like, okay, now you're just like parading Brooks around to make yourself look good, when really that's not what was going on. Well, let's say that Meredith didn't say that. And then she hears this from Sean and she's like, oh my God, I didn't even say anything about him being gay. And now I'm getting this. But then Sean is now still living in a place of, Meredith, you did say this. And Whitney has to back up Sean because Whitney has sold them this story. Sean really loves Whitney so much that he even says it in that very episode on Behind the Velvet Rope. He even says Whitney has nothing but good intentions and is looking out for our family. So he believes everything that's coming out of Whitney's mouth, that Meredith is doing this. She is spreading things, but there is evidence of Meredith talking about rumors. So why wouldn't one assume that Meredith is the one spreading it when she's really like, do not go there. You want to talk about the husband? So Sean is thinking he was tame. He was like, yeah, I mean, if you're going to be out here spreading rumors that I'm gay secretly, and then you're parading your son around and talking about your GLAAD connections, yeah, it seems a little performative because you need to get ahead of what it looks like on the show. But for Meredith, she's like, I never said that. So she's only just showing like, see, why would I do that when I have a gay son and I work with GLAAD? So they're both coming at it wrong. And then there's Whitney who's like, yeah, show the proof. He did not say anything. Prove it. Okay. Then Seth. First, okay, people are not pointing this out. Seth mispronounced Sean's last name, Sean Trujillo. Seth pronounces Sean Trujillo. I think he misses it. But then he goes, proof, biatch. Now, I don't think he was calling her a bitch. I am not going to subscribe to that. I think he was doing like a booyah type of moment thing. But regardless, it was just cringy. There may be proof. And annoyingly, they admit that they hadn't actually listened to the podcast. They only read the headline. And I'm like, well, you guys definitely should have actually listened to the podcast because I did. It wasn't even that long, but like, just you should have listened to it so you had full context. And they would have seen, Meredith had said that it was David who presented the question the way he did. It wasn't like Sean brought that up out of nowhere. But again, Sean's coming from his reality. Meredith's coming from hers. And Whitney's over here like, no, Meredith did say that. Monica told me. And is it not surprising at all in the mid-season trailer that we see Whitney saying, I reached out to Monica? It's like, yeah, we know. We can tell. We can tell. We can tell, girl. So there's somewhat of a resolution, sort of, in this moment. And then Angie, to lighten the mood, goes, let's talk about something fun. So Gwen is reconnecting with her grandparents, and Todd is like, no, we're not going there. That's not a happier topic. And big mistake. Major mistake here. And she was like, oh shit, I'm so sorry. And Todd doesn't even let Bronwyn talk. He just shuts her down. But what I love is in her confessional, Bronwyn's, obviously, she says, I was worried about the women embarrassing me, and now it's Todd embarrassing me. Because honestly, if that had been like, let's say Erica, she would have said something like, yeah, Tom is the boss. Tom is the boss. That's just how it is. And we wouldn't have gotten like her feelings on it. So I like that Bronwyn was willing to say, yeah, he embarrassed me. I'm like, okay, girl. Yeah, cool. All right. Honesty, transparency, that's pretty dope. I'm into that. So I'm not mad about that at all. But then in Todd's confessional, he was kind of mean about it. He was like, it's no one's business to discuss at a dinner table. Frankly, it wasn't Lisa's business to bring it up to begin with. I'm like, okay, I don't know if she brought it up, though. Bronwyn showed her a picture. And Lisa was like, oh my God, I know I'm like friends with their grandparents. Or his grandparents, right? One of my most embarrassing moments in life was getting invited to a holiday party where there was a no shoes policy. And I was coming from work at the time I worked in a restaurant, and my feet and my shoes smelled so bad. I put my shoes outside, but I knew my feet smelled, and I think of it randomly often. But if I had known about Lumi back then, this would have never happened. Lumi is a whole body deodorant. You can use it from the top of your head, even though I don't really know what you'd use it up there for, down to your feet. Lumi was actually created by an OBGYN who got tired of patient after patient coming in saying, I have an odor down there. What's the matter with it? In the vagina area. And this doctor was like, hold on, this is just body odor, like you get under your armpits. Revolutionary. What makes Lumi different than your traditional deodorants is that it's not about masking the fragrance. It's formulated with mandelic acid, which is actually designed to stop odor before it starts, like a pre-odorant. Plus, now they have sweat control. There have been many, many requests over the years, and they have formulated a new product to keep you smelling fresh and help you stay drier. Lumi Whole Body Deodorant plus sweat control. And Lumi is baking soda free, paraben free, and pH balanced for safe use below the belt. Lumi's starter pack is perfect for new customers because it comes with a solid stick deodorant, a cream tube deodorant, and 2 free products of your choice, like a mini body wash or deodorant wipes. And also free shipping. As a special offer for listeners, new customers get 15% off all Lumi products with our exclusive code. And if you combine the 15% off with the already discounted starter pack, that equals over 40% off the starter pack. Use code SHESPEAKS for 15% off your first purchase at LumiDeodorant.com. That's code SHESPEAKS at LumiDeodorant.com. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. This episode of She's Speaking is brought to you by Wild Grain. The holiday season is here. It's time to start baking homemade favorites with family and friends. So Wild Grain is here to make you look like a baking expert without the stress. If you're not familiar with Wild Grain, it is the first Bake from Frozen subscription box for artisanal breads, pastries, and pastas. Wild Grain's boxes are fully customizable to your tastes and dietary restrictions. Best of all, they take the hassle out of baking since all items bake from frozen in 25 minutes or less with no mess or cleanup. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The best croissants I've ever had was in my wild grain box. They were frozen. I baked them per the instructions, and I'll never forget the first bite. They were fluffy and fresh, buttery. Oh, they were so good. They would be perfect to throw out in the morning if you're doing presents or just having company over. They would be a hit. Impress your guests with minimal effort this holiday season. Wild Grain is offering our listeners $30 off the first box plus a free item in every box when you go to wildgrain.com/she-speaks. You heard me. You now get $30 off your first customized box when you go to wildgrain.com/she-speaks, or you can use promo code she-speaks at checkout. We end there, but then when we wake up the next day, Whitney is like, we actually had fun last night. And we get all this footage of them having a party. They are like dancing and in the hot tub and totally cool. And it's like, oh, that's nuts. You guys should stay like that. And then like the next day, it's right back to where it was. But then they go to the NASCAR thing. And that hot race car driver who I could tell Bronwyn was real excited about too. But Lisa's like, take your shirt off. And John's like, yeah, I mean, he might be like 20 years younger than me. So yeah, take your shirt off. Just don't take Lisa to dinner. With his little smirk and his receding hairline that he's so desperately hanging on to on top. You could, poor John. I could see his like the male pattern baldness, and he's like holding on for dear life to this top piece. Yeah, I think women go bald too, but men going bald, it's just a cruelty. Going bald is a cruel thing that happens. Okay, it's just fucked up. The NASCAR thing is done. They get back to the house, and Sean is talking to Angie, Whitney, and Justin about Seth saying biatch. He's saying it so serious. He's like, it's like he was calling you guys bitches, and I don't like that. He didn't say bitches. He was like biatch, like he was trying to have a bit and do a moment, but it like I swear he meant to say booyah. Proof, booyah or something. Biatch, I don't know. Like I don't think he was calling her a bitch, but Sean, I get sure. Sean is very sensitive. And he should be. He's allowed. But then, okay, back to Lisa and her kind of lack of emotional connection. Because then Bronwyn and Lisa talk in the pool. And it's challenging. I'm like, I see where Bronwyn literally says, let me put the bar all the way down to the ground so you trip on it. Am I two-faced? Well, like, are you two-faced? No, Lisa. No. And then in Lisa's confessional, like, well, I mean, right now, I'm like kind of wondering, is she two-faced? I'm like, just say it to her then. Have a conversation. It seems so linear to me. Here's Bronwyn, what she needs. Here's Lisa. Okay, I didn't check in with you. Are you okay? How are you feeling? No, it's just, I get what you're saying, but like with Heather, like I don't want like to not be able to be friends with Heather and then like you not like me because I'm friends with Heather. No, I don't, there's only so many ways you can explain it. There's only so many fucking ways you can explain it. And then this is how Lisa ends it. She goes, it was so shitty that she came to your house and that she left and you were crying. And I feel badly that you were upset. Like the bottom line is, do I think that there's a huge misunderstanding between you two? 100%. Okay. She's like, I feel bad for you. And then she tries to be like, but like Heather is trying to say whatever. And Bronwyn's like, stop it. Just stop right there. Just say like, you feel bad. We don't need to like baby Heather's feelings. She's not here. She goes, I will baby Heather's feelings myself when she and I work it out. Well done. Well said. Mm-hmm. Yes, you will. Lisa keeps, I'm going to be a good friend to you both. And then Bronwyn goes, great, but let's balance it, honey. And Bronwyn's like, I feel like I'm begging you. I'm begging you to like feel for me. I'm begging you to like, this is so not me. And Lisa, can I hug you? Can I hug you? Like the bottom line is I'm here because I wanted to be with you. Can I hug you? I know you don't like hugs. But then unfortunately after this, which is not really a resolution, it's something. I don't know what Lisa thought she said here at all. that would make Bronwyn feel better. But then turns out they're flying Coach home. Yeah, the reason why this is even kind of more ridiculous is that Lisa had just said to John, I'm so excited to get home and see Henry. And then when she finds out they're in Coach, I mean, look, if this was Mary, she would not have handled it. Mary travels completely separate from these women. She will not tolerate any of it. Lisa just said she wanted to see Henry, and then when she sees that they're in Coach, she's like, let's take another flight. And John's like, I think John put his foot down, but he was trying to be calm about it because he was like, you miss Henry, but you want to take longer to get home just because we're going to be flying Coach. I haven't flown Coach since college. Now, it was cringe. It was totally cringe. Bronwyn took it very personal. In the after show, she goes on and on and on about how she has had to hear all about this fucking Coach thing. And if Lisa I guess it's gotten back to Bronwyn that apparently Lisa is saying that her and John have more money than Todd and Bronwyn. And it's not Bronwyn's money. And I think that there's a sense of insecurity around that part. Because she keeps saying, on my dime, if you're going to be on my dime, this is what I'm going to do for you. You've already gotten a beautiful home. You've already gotten a private jet. You've already gotten a gift. Da, 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 da. It's like, I think that there's a little bit of an insecurity about that. I know that because in my mom's relationship, she stopped working because my stepdad I think he said he kind of wanted her to. I can't remember. But it's a source of insecurity for sure in their dynamic. It's an insecure situation when it comes to money and funding things. And so I could sort of see the insult for Bronwyn was Todd is paying for this trip. And now you're here complaining like it's the worst thing in the world. And Lisa could have gone home in a different way. She could have waited for the next flight to get on a first class ticket. I think John, though, was like, suck it the fuck up. I'm not taking a later flight because we just said we want to get home to Henry, and I want to get home to Henry. And it's a quick flight, whatever. On Watch What Happens Live, when Angie went on, Andy was like, I'm going to say that I would have called Darren or text Darren, his assistant, like, what the fuck? I don't want to be in Coach. Was it cringe? Yeah, but also like very housewivesy in a way. Bronwyn is sensitive, which is good. A very good thing for a housewife to be sensitive. Otherwise, they wouldn't give a shit about anything. But I think she is sensitive. More so. I don't think Lisa's very sensitive. Well, I guess she's sensitive to her own feelings. I have such a complicated understanding of these people. Like, I don't see, it's not black and white to me. It's not like obvious team this, team that. I think they're all just such interesting characters, bringing something so interesting to the table, you know? But it is worth noting that Bronwyn posted on her Instagram like a whole Todd, like tribute sort of a thing. So she posted a slide of pictures, and the caption is, "Happy meetiversary, Todd. I hate that I put you in a position where you are uncomfortable on this trip and not able to be your best self. And I hate that I had a part in showing our relationship as anything but what it really is. What a wonderful 10 years of fun, laughter, and happiness. Happiness and sticking by each other through ups and downs. Unfortunately, that was not best honored by my girlfriends arguing and my comebacks that only made things worse. I regret my awkward attempts at using self-deprecating humor in a toast on such a special night. What I should have said then was, I love Todd deeply. He makes me laugh. He pushes me to be my best, and I couldn't be happier to have him in my life. We have good days and some bad, like most married couples, but I would choose him every time. Side note, who knew Coach was so bad? I fly Coach when needed. As you can see, I originally put the two individual ladies in first with T and I home so as to not pick one couple above the others, and then I canceled their flights when they weren't attending. Oh, like Heather and Brittany? And those seats got scooped up by other travelers. No shade to anyone, just actually me trying to be nicest to the two who were harshest toward my marriage. Enjoy the episode." Wait, originally put the two individual ladies in first. That has to be Brittany and them. Okay. There's a dynamic there. there's a dynamic there. They've been together a long time. I don't think she plans on leaving him or anything like that. I don't think that's the plan. But it's not a relationship that I'm like, oh my God, I would love to have that one for sure. There's tension, and I personally don't like a grumpy man. I'm over the grumpy, gruff guy. So I'm not gagged over Todd, where I see so many people love Todd, and I love that for you. I wish I could get on board, but I'm like, you're just grumpy to me. I do like Bronwyn. I think she's very interesting. I wish that Lisa could. It started with Lisa not defending her, and then Lisa held a grudge, right? Held a grudge about the fact that then Bronwyn got mad at her, and like they got in that fight, right? And then that was it. Like, that's when Lisa was done. Lisa's a punisher. I think that's a through line for sure. But Whitney is the source of so many problems. Truly. If it wasn't the same year that Meredith and Lisa were feuding and had that stage scene where Meredith was like, I'm not going to say it, but I want Whitney to say it. That same season is when Whitney was all wasted and they were in their lingerie at what I can't remember where they were in that house. And Whitney decides to go up to Lisa, who had no idea what was coming, and go, listen, I need to tell you something. Meredith is trying to take you down. And Lisa's like, what? What the fuck are you even talking about? I have to come clean. We've all been saying stuff. And it's like, what are you, Whitney? And then Meredith's like, I don't co-sign this. Like, what are you even talking about? Whitney screwed up that whole thing. And then also, you know what? This is the problem, is that Whitney's funny to me typically, but she's not getting as drunk as she used to. Like, the first time Whitney did it was when she was wasted at Coach Shaw's party and is trying to tell Jen what Meredith and Lisa said, but she's so drunk, she gets the line wrong. She's like, wait, hold on, Jen, Meredith and Lisa. Oh, wait, hold on. I got it wrong. Like, she's so bad. And then I don't remember if it was the next season, but then the season where they go somewhere where they're all in red. Whatever that one was, Mary's there. It's the same episode when Mary says women. But Whitney's like all wasted and thinks she's like, where's Mary? And then she sees Mary in the kitchen. She's like, where's Meredith? You need to go be with Meredith. She needs you right now. And Mary goes, okay, bye. Whitney goes, don't tell me bye, because I'm going to say hi. I'm Whitney. Like, Whitney's dead serious. She thinks she's delivering important information. She always gets it wrong. But this season, she's more like clever about it with like I have a source who's confirmed it's you with the Alibaba thing. I'm like, whatever. Okay, in the after show, ow, my back hurts so much. In the after show, there's a segment on the Lisa, Angie abusive thing. And she talks about how Lisa's yelling at her, Lisa's yelling at me and it's so bad. And Mary's like, see, this is why we're never close, because I would never let someone speak to me like that. And I think that kind of sums up the difference in what makes, like, Angie, I wouldn't say she's a pushover, but definitely more so than Mary. Like, you cannot talk to Mary like that. And so maybe Lisa was being too mean. Lisa was hurt, I'm sure, because Angie's done some stuff too, and she's trying to kind of play innocent. I'm like, girl, no, you've been messy. Like, going and telling Whitney what Lisa said about her that wasn't the best move. But I also don't think Angie has a bad heart at all. I think Angie is also hurt by Lisa, but I am a little confused as to what exactly happened. I think I need to maybe rewatch. I don't know what I need to rewatch, because I feel like Lisa has had Angie's back pretty solid, right? They had a little bit of a something. There was something at the reunion, but I this is where I will give Lisa this credit. Whitney definitely like found an alliance with Angie and was able to like get in there. And I think Angie likes having a fun friend who's nice, and you know, Lisa's a lot. I would have to say, but hearing that they would talk on the phone, just talking to someone on the phone that much, and that being something that they even want to do, that's a lot. Like Lisa not denying that they talked all the time. Lisa even says in the after show, like, okay, like we're not that close. So like, we won't talk to you 7 times a day. I'm like, thank God. But I think that's how Lisa thinks that that's a good time, but that's a lot of attention that someone needs. So I don't know. It's going to be a rough road for Lisa, especially with her next week. The preview I saw is her telling Heather how Braun was just being like kind of weird about the whole thing. And I'm just like, anyway, we're going to see how this shakes out. But they're all just kind of interesting, fascinating creatures. So anyway, I probably missed something. There's been so much I wanted to talk about. I talked about that. Hold on, let me look at my notes. Let me see what else I got. Did I miss anything? I got that. I got the issue with the thing and the Bronwyn's post and the da-da-da-da and then okay. I think I got it all. Hopefully. It's hard to get everything in. There's so much material. I'm going to be doing Orange County again on Sunday with Kendrick. He is the best. If you guys don't tune in live, then always catch a replay of the wrap-ups because Kendrick is just the fucking best. I love him so much. And he's been so funny to recap Orange County with. Okay, I love you guys so much. Take care. See you next time. Bye. Thanks for tuning in to She's Speaking with Emily Hanks. This show is produced, hosted, and edited by me, Emily, and brought to you in partnership with Cloud 10 Media. If you are looking for bonus content, check out the Patreon. The link is in the description. To show some support, you can hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Another free way to support the pod, please rate and/or review on whatever platform you listen. It's free, and it helps the algorithm or something. You can also head to buymeacoffee.com/shespeaks and buy me a coffee or two. Make sure you're following me on all social medias. I am She's Speaking with Emily Hanks across all platforms: Threads, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. That's it. Thank you guys. See you soon.